Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Family Steam.
Yay! Here with us is Miss Nikki and
Miss Jen from Kids Space and the big branch of the Gale Borden Library. And we have some other friends with us, Miss Nikki.
we do, and we are working outside today because we might get a little messy
As we normally do with Steam.
as we do.
So since we are outside the building, we are allowed to not wear our masks. We require them inside, but since we've got the fresh air and we're outside, we are maskless, and hopefully that makes it easier for you guys to hear us too. So
That's right. So now that we're outside, let's talk about what we have here, Miss Jen.
yes, one of my favorite things, 2 signs of autumn, everybody. Apples and pumpkins.
Yes. And I see we have one other thing, rubber bands.
We do. So I think you guys seen from the title, we're gonna try to make a pumpkin explode without any matches or dynamite or fireworks. So just rubber bands and pumpkins.
We're gonna explore some scientific concepts
Yes.
about force, right?
Yes, we are. So the idea of, well, first of all, these have a lot of stretch and elastic, so they can tighten, right? But they can also get pretty big and big enough to go around a pumpkin. And then we have the force when we put it around that it puts on the pumpkin. Whoop. And then we have the pumpkin's walls putting force back out, right, Miss Nikki?
That's right. So there's a battle going on right now. We are going to be adding force or tension to our pumpkin walls from the outside going in. And as we do that, the pumpkin is going to be fighting to stay intact. So it's going to be exerting some tension and force outward.
Of course, to a good point, a pumpkin is hollow inside. So this is not going to work necessarily if it was a solid, but this is a fruit that is hollow. So then you've got the tension of the walls, but inside is an open space. So
Yes. So we're going to see how many rubber bands, meaning how much tension it's going to take until we have enough force to hopefully crack open this pumpkin.
that's right. Make it explode, cut it in half, however you
Yes.
want to think about it.
Now, Miss Jen, I noticed that you have some fancy get-up clothes today. Can you tell me a little bit about those?
I do. I have on my coat just to look all official, but more importantly, safety goggles, Miss Nikki. Safety goggles, friends. Especially, we're talking about something possibly exploding, but if you don't know the outcome, how tall, what's inside, how much force it's going to hit us with if it did, gotta protect those eyes. So we have that. And this could be messy, families, so if you attempt it yourselves, I would really recommend outside, probably, if at all possible.
Absolutely. And we've got some nice weather
We do.
with us, so it's a great time to do it. Any rubber bands will really work. You want to make sure they're not too big so that they provide enough tension with the pumpkin, so that they just fit around it, but there's still a bit of a force.
That you can hear that snap. when it comes in.
Exactly.
Also, Miss Nikki has put in a lot of time already. So this does take quite a while, a pretty big time investment. And she's put about 200-ish rubber bands already around the pumpkin. So this is a condensed, kind of shortened version, because as exciting as we are, I didn't know if everyone was going to watch us put rubber bands on for a half hour, 45 minutes. So
Take a very long time.
yeah, so now we're going to see as we go from 200 how many more it takes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to use our observational skills, and remember that when we do that, we use our senses, right? So we're going to use our eyes to see. We're going to use our
Right.
hands for touching the pumpkin and kind of seeing if its shape is changing at all.
Yep.
We're going to kind of see, can we smell anything? Is it changing at all? Are we going to be able to smell more of the pumpkin as things happen? I wouldn't recommend tasting the pumpkin.
I do not recommend that.
No. Now, we talked about, if you do like pumpkin, sometimes you can buy pumpkin pie.
Yes.
Or if you are carving a pumpkin, you can also take out the seeds and cook the seeds.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. You rinse them, cook them, and then you can put little seasonings or just have them
Yeah.
plain in the oven. As Miss Nikki pointed out too, I'm curious if we're going to hear anything. If this works, will we hear will it start to crack or indicate anything that it's about to explode? And like you said, maybe we will either smell, we all know the inside of a pumpkin is kind of, my kids call it stinky at my house, but it definitely has a distinctive odor. And then also, maybe if it's wet inside, which they are usually, we might see some of that, like prior to any big reaction, some signs that we're getting through. So we'll have to keep an eye on all of that.
So we're gonna keep an eye, and we're gonna make a prediction on this, Jen. So we are at 200 rubber bands, and we have a whole stack. Make sure that you get lots and lots of rubber bands for this
Yes.
experiment, friends.
For sure.
How many rubber bands do you think it's going to take to explode this pumpkin, Miss Jen?
I'm gonna say around 230.
So we need 30 more. you're
30
saying.
more. Yep.
I'm gonna say about 260.
Ooh, all right. Now I will say too, because it's a natural thing, it's a an organism. It won't be perfect, right? So this one isn't perfectly round. It is quite round though, but I'm starting to see a little bit of indent, and the shape's changing a little. So because I think it could depend a lot on how round and how uniform it is, which we can't tell necessarily from the outside.
So every pumpkin, because every pumpkin is a different size and slightly a different shape,
yes,
the number of rubber bands that it might take might be different. It's not going to be the same.
I would agree. Yeah.
And what about all this stuff on the pumpkin, Miss Jen? There's some. Let me show you, friends. There's some scarring here.
Yes. So
And-
I'm wondering if that's done any damage inside too, then, that we can't see. Because if there's stuff on the outside, you would think maybe it had an impact. Maybe there's imperfections on the inside
Right.
wall or something.
Maybe
So-
there's a weak point,
Yeah.
a soft spot.
Exactly.
So that might also affect
Affect
it.
it. Yep.
All right, so 230.
230.
260.
All right.
Who's going to be right?
And we do know this, if we do all of these, we're at about 250. If
Yes.
all of these end up on there. So we'll kind of keep track as we go.
All right. And Miss Jen, you mentioned that this works, or we hope it works, because this is a hollow object. What exactly does that mean again?
So it means that the center of it, or the interior, has air. There's like a giant pocket inside. So you have the walls around the outside, but the center is empty, basically.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to think of other things we could try this with.
Right. That's rubber band number 5.
Oh boy. Okay.
So other things we could try this with. So what other things, friends, are hollow inside?
But kind of soft and give, like a plastic item that's hollow is probably not gonna, I'm gonna move these just a little closer.
Yeah.
Is probably not gonna explode. So we need something that's got some give on the outside, but hollow on the inside. So, well, another fruit off the top of my head is watermelon. Another
Very
one that
good
grows
one.
on the vine.
Yes. Anything in the pumpkin family?
That's
So
true.
gourds.
Yes. Although I would like to point out, Miss Niki also was attempting, we were curious with the size, right? We have our little friend. We're calling him Mummy Pumpkin. He's all wrapped up and really not giving much at all, Miss Niki.
No, not at all, Miss Jen. Yes, and we wanted to think about what if we replicate this experiment or repeat this experiment. All right, that's 10, friends. On a smaller pumpkin. How would that change things? So we are actually at 225 on this one, and you can see it is not even close. Solid
No.
as a rock.
Yes.
No exploding here. Will it even explode at all?
That's a good question.
I don't know, something to think about. So we may or may not be able to have time to get to this one, but something to think about if you're trying something at home. We've got lots of different size pumpkins that you can experiment with, and even ones that are different colors.
This is gonna be 215, everybody.
215.
I'm also, I don't know if this matters, Miss Niki, but I'm trying to kind of put a lot of the rubber bands toward the center. We've got this pretty big band going, but if they're all dispersed, right, it's gonna be, the force is dispersed more, so it might
You're
not happen.
right. So, and disperse sort of means that there's a lot of space for it to go, right?
Spread
Miss
out.
Jen?
Yeah, they're spread out.
Yes.
Yep.
We call that surface area, right? A
That's
lot
right.
of space for the rubber bands. If we were to put it kind of like this one, we've got it, the rubber bands covering more of the surface of the pumpkin. So that means that the tension is going to spread out more. We don't want that as much as we want to stop that as much as we can.
Concentrate it, meaning make it
Right.
all as much as possible in a certain spot.
Right, kind of like a belt, right?
Yes.
So when you're putting your belt on, you don't put it all the way all over yourself. You just put it right where your waist is, because that's the part that you need to keep up.
That's right. All right, here's 218.
218. All right, we're getting close to Miss Jen's.
Yeah, we are. That was 19.
20.
21. Another thought about the small one, Miss Niki, is that the inside of that, even though it is hollow, it's a lot smaller space that's hollow. So in relation to the outer part, that could make a difference too. Oh, that was not the pumpkin. That was just the rubber band.
One thing to remember is fingers. Sometimes these things with elasticity, they can also snap.
That's
So
true.
you want to be careful if you want to use gloves, and it's always good to have your grown-up doing this with you.
Yes. All right. Do you know exactly what number on this? Niki?
I believe that was 225.
Oh, all right. So I was saying 220, 230 I said. So
5 more to get to Miss Jen's prediction.
oh my, I don't think it's changing enough for that. So I feel already like I'm wrong, but
Okay. So your hypothesis was
230
would exert enough force, enough tension on our pumpkin to combat the
so that's
pumpkin swamp.
26, 27.
7.
28.
So we're tightening that belt. 29.
30.
30. Okay, let's stop and observe. Well, doesn't look like, I don't see anything having popped open or exploded.
No.
I don't feel anything different. The pumpkin still feels about the same shape.
It's not oozing. I don't see any cracks or anything
I
so
don't
far.
hear anything.
Nope. So this
So-
is 230.
230. Okay.
All right.
So Miss Jen's prediction was proven wrong.
Wrong. It's not the first time I've been wrong.
But you know what? That's the best part about science. You get proven wrong all the time,
That's
but yet
true.
you keep learning.
And that helps you learn. Being
Exactly.
wrong is part of the process and helps you learn.
So are you going to make a new prediction, Miss Jen?
Ooh, if
Now
you're
that we
saying
know more information.
260, but I don't know. I'm gonna say 275 though.
Oh, okay, we're upping it.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. We got it. So if we wanted to do like an apple, well, would an apple work?
What do you guys think? Is an apple hollow? I don't believe, right?
No, because it
Is there
has,
any-
yeah, it has that core, right?
It does. And the seeds are in the core.
Right. So that would exert way too much force on the rubber bands. That the rubber bands, you would need probably thousands.
That's true. To even make it work.
Okay, so we're at 250.
Okay.
We're going to keep on going. I have 10 more. See if my prediction is correct.
Okay, so that's 51, 52,
It's like we're putting a belt on the pumpkin.
right? I'm trying to decide if it's starting to look a little.
A little squishy.
Yeah, what do you think, Miss Nikki?
I don't know. My eyes are playing little tricks on me because there's some shadows out here.
That's true.
Now, what's really interesting, Miss Jen, is pumpkins and rubber bands are not the only way that we can feel tension and pressure.
That's true.
So sometimes, if you've ever gone into an airplane and you're going up, you're just lifting off, your ears might hurt. Sometimes we call that popping, even though they don't really pop.
That's true.
That is the oxygen in the air slowly depleting, so there's less oxygen, and that means that there is more atmospheric pressure. So that is the way that your body is starting to respond. Your ears are starting to get adjusted to having less oxygen. So your eardrums are kind of feeling that tension.
I feel that. And then you chew gum or yawn and try to change the tension and the pressure inside your ear. This is
Correct.
these last two. I think we're at 260.
All right. So Miss Nikki will put on her prediction. What do we think?
What do we think, guys?
What do we think? 260.
Wow.
All right. Evaluation time.
That's true.
What do you think, Miss Jen? Do you notice anything different?
I'm
From
actually going to take like
230
a step back
to
to try to see
260?
it.
Oh, so different perspectives is important. Okay.
No, I feel like this side, maybe we want to rotate it. The scarred side is looking a little bit, maybe.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe looking a little like pushed.
Like I feel like right here.
Right. Let me bring that up closer, friends, so you guys can take a peek yourselves. See if you notice anything different. What do you think? Is it looking any different? Here's that kind of scar tissue that we talked about. Does look like it's dented in a little, but not quite yet. So Miss Jen and Miss Nikki were both wrong. So our hypotheses were proven incorrect.
So that's 260. Now we've got two more piles of 10.
Yeah, so you said 275 was your new
Yes. Do you have a
prediction.
new
Oh
prediction?
gosh, maybe 300?
Oh man. Okay,
Okay.
we'll see.
Here we go.
So 260. So here's 260. So if we do all these on the top here, it'll be 280.
All right. What about our predictions of what the pumpkin's going to look like when it reaches
Ooh.
its peak pressure point? Is it going to blow up in lots of little pieces?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Is it going to...
I'm kind of picturing a cave-in.
Oh, okay.
So where the pressure is like the side, where the rubber bands meet, the
Yeah.
top and bottom like kind of collapsed in. Yeah.
Okay.
How
That's
about you,
very
Miss Nikki?
interesting.
What do you think?
Ooh, that's a tough one, Miss Jen. Let's see. Putting pressure here. it's gonna go. Psh, it's gonna just
This is a big
explode
one?
from all the pressure.
All right.
Go big or go home, I say.
We're at
Okay.
278, so I was wrong again.
All right.
We're gonna keep going. So with these two, we'll be at 280. Grab some more.
Go. Changes. I'm still not seeing anything. Nothing different than at 260 and 230 so far.
Okay.
I really like, Miss Jen, how you're keeping track of how many rubber bands we're doing.
Yeah, I want us to try to be exact, just so we know.
Measurement and scale is always very important when you're doing
That's
an
true.
experiment, because if we want to replicate or repeat it, we want to be able to compare our results from the first trial to the second trial. So we always need to know and carefully measure, just like when we're cooking. We need
Yes.
to measure our ingredients. We need to know how much we're using of something.
Well, let's say we found a pumpkin that was the same weight before
Yes.
the rubber band, or similar size and weight, but maybe it takes different amount. Then we're like, then what was the difference, right? We can
Right.
figure that out too. So
And then the question is, Miss Jen, what happens if we had changed the direction of the rubber bands? Right now they're kind of going horizontal. What if we put them vertical?
ooh, that's a good question too. I don't know. I feel like that would be difficult because of the stem. I'm wondering if there's
Yes.
some inner like extra structural stuff because of that. So
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, where is the strongest point in the pumpkin? Is it the stem? Because that's where the hardest point of the pumpkin is.
that's true.
And we know that pumpkins are a plant. They grow on plants.
Yes, they are quite a
Vines?
huge vine. Yes.
Yes, they are. And pumpkins can grow to be over 5 feet big.
And there's contests again in the U.S. and probably other parts of the world where
Yes.
people try to grow the biggest pumpkin, the heaviest. Oh, Miss Nikki, do you see that? There's a tiny drop of moisture, friends. Right? Do you see it?
I don't see it, Miss Jen.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, I see it now.
All right. I don't know what that
Okay.
means. I don't know. Something's starting to get a little.
Okay, so now with our observation, we can see moisture and we can
A little
feel
bit.
just a smidge.
Okay.
Okay, so some change has been observed.
A li-
300 be the magic number.
That would be so awesome.
And what do you guys do with pumpkins at your house? Do you use pumpkins at all? Do you eat pumpkins? Do you carve pumpkins? Do you paint pumpkins?
Oh
Are
man,
pumpkins part of?
more moisture. Do you see it here?
I'm gonna go ahead and show you,
I don't know if
friends.
they'll be able to see. Be careful, Miss
I
Nikki.
will be very, very careful.
We don't miss Nikki to take the camera
You
out.
can see there's some moisture happening on the pumpkin.
So we'll see here.
All right, friends, so now we're noticing a change. Something has changed, and that is the moisture. Where's that coming from, you guys?
Right.
It's not raining.
No, so it's definitely something related to the pumpkin.
Right, Miss
It's
Jen didn't pour any water on
It's
it.
a clear blue sky, so it's definitely
Right.
not external.
Right, but is there water inside the pumpkin, Miss Jen?
There's definitely moisture. Yes.
Moisture.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I've cleaned these pumpkins, I don't know if you've ever done the jack-o'-lantern, Miss Nikki. It's quite moist and kind of slimy and goopy inside. So definitely something's up here.
Something's happening. Okay. So we know that the skin has some moisture in it, so it's likely that it's coming from that thick wall. So
Yes,
it's starting to maybe give in to the pressure.
a little bit. That's $2.99. Oh my. Here's 300, everybody. Oh my gosh, still going, friends.
We're still going. So we were both wrong.
Again.
All right, guys, we need your help. What do you think? How
Yes.
many more rubber bands do we need?
That's a
10?
good question.
20? 100 more? What do we think? How much more pressure until our rubber bands win the battle of tension? Rubber bands versus pumpkin. And what will happen?
That's the question.
I don't know, Miss Jen. We might have to be ready to dock this thing.
Oh, we need two more. Two more. It's gonna be that's 20 more. So we'll be at 320 then.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 330. What do you think, Miss
30?
Nikki?
Ooh, I'm gonna say 315.
Okay.
Here we are. All right, friends, watch closely.
We're not sure.
We're getting
We're getting a little
nervous.
nervous. Yeah, we are. Can everyone sense the tension in the camera?
Both the tension on the pumpkin and the tension in our
Like,
faces.
Oh my gosh.
We do not know exactly what's going to happen. So
No, we don't.
Your guess is as good as ours, friends. And if you're at home watching this, be crossing your fingers for Miss Jen and Miss Nikki so that
And then it all works out okay.
we don't get pumpkin up our noses.
Right?
Right. Haven't seen any more moisture.
No, we haven't.
This is a tough pumpkin.
It is.
Not giving up easily.
It's hanging in there.
Okay, so that is 315.
Okay.
So I was wrong.
What did I say? 335, I think.
335. Okay.
So that's 16, 17, 18, 19.
And Miss Jen,
Yes.
if you explode the pumpkin,
Yes.
I'm buying you a treat.
Oh, that's so nice of
You
you.
got a
Sadie.
piece of Halloween candy.
I will go right back at you there. Okay. I feel like it's getting later, like trying to put them on quick.
What do you
here.
notice, friends? You notice anything? Is it looking any skinnier? Yeah, I don't hear anything. It still sounds the same when we put a rubber band on it.
It does. I'm not noticing that at all. I do feel like this side is getting a little more misshapen again. The
Yeah.
one that we've said had the scarring.
Right. Had that scarring that might have that weak point, right?
Yes. Okay,
Right.
so that was 320.
That was 320. Okay.
What was your guess? 315?
315,
I'm
yep.
saying 335, so.
Again, we're wanting to make sure we're precise about how many rubber bands so that we can tell you exactly how many rubber bands.
That's
it
right.
took.
So we're at 320.
We're at
So here we go.
320. I just pulled another 20 more.
Oh, that was the rubber band, not the pumpkin. Okay. I
Still
know,
at
right?
320. Still at 320.
320.
And it's okay, friends, if a rubber band breaks. That
Yes.
happens. Even in experiments.
It does.
And just so you guys know, we have a pumpkin, an extra pumpkin if we need it.
That's right.
We always have a backup. Sometimes it's called a control to kind of compare it to so that we can observe. But we said that's kind of hard in a case like this because every pumpkin is slightly different.
That's right.
But I really think it's starting to
Ooze.
not ooze, but definitely starting
Give
to
in.
cave in a little.
Every rubber band is an adventure, everybody.
Right?
It's
So
like very scary.
remember to think about when you're getting your supplies, you're going to need at least 300, and that's going to depend on the size of your pumpkin and the shape.
Ooh, this one is super tight, so this will be interesting. Oh, all right.
Okay.
That was a little anticlimactic.
So that was 235.
No, 3 something.
I'm sorry, 335.
335. Oh, and that was mine. Yes.
Yep.
So Miss Jen was wrong again.
Man, we are just 0 for 4.
We are. It's pumpkin 1, Miss Jen and Miss Nikki 0.
0. All right, that was 380. Yep.
All right.
To 10.
So that was 420 we're at.
What do you think, folks? Are we
I
gonna get to
honestly have no clue at
500?
this point.
I'm giving up. We were so wrong, Miss Jen.
We really were.
Are we on? That was 420.
Yeah, so your 10 will be 430.
Not gonna lie, I don't see this. Doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, folks.
I know, I'm really trying to get it toward the center, everybody,
Yes,
too.
we're
But
really trying to build up that concentrated tension onto that spot. So, Miss Jen, why do you think our pumpkin is so different than some of our fellow scientists who said it only took about 200?
I don't know.
What do you think might be different?
Maybe the thicker skin,
Could
possibly?
be. Maybe they were using smaller, thicker rubber bands that had more tension on it.
That's true. I wonder if there's, I don't know, I'm sure someone will know this, different varietals or types of pumpkins. You know how there's
Yes.
different apples, so maybe certain ones have different characteristics.
So there you go.
So
Okay,
we're at
that's
450. Okay, here we go. shape, but I don't know. I don't know how long it's gonna take to. Here it is, and even here a little now. So
Yeah.
we might be getting close, everybody. But I also think we could hit 500 rubber bands, possibly. It seems very, very possible.
All right. That's 370.
470.
Oh, I'm sorry, 470.
All right,
Keep-
so. Well, we put in a lot of work for that extra 100.
Yep.
470. So I'm gonna try to get us to 480. Okay, I'm definitely starting to see a bulb. Do you see that, Miss Niki? Holy cow. I guess we did see it. Oh my gosh, you have to grab that rubber ball.
Oh man, it's done.
Okay, friends.
Woo!
Wow.
Did that surprise you guys as much as it surprised?
I'm like, I noticed a little. Okay.
Whoa! Woo!
I'm gonna grab the top. You want to show them the rubber band ball? Miss Niki?
Absolutely, Miss Jen. So, what happened, friends? Wow, let's start with the rubber bands. That is 400, almost 470 rubber bands. And
Yeah, I
look,
think we're approaching 480. So
yep,
yeah.
almost 480. And you can see that it is all in a ball with some of the center ones kind of stuck in the middle. So they all kind of collapsed in on each other in a nice ball.
We're at 473 was the official count.
473, okay.
There's 7 left to get to 480. Then here's the lid or the top.
Okay.
It is like a clean. If Miss Niki showed you this, but it is like a clean cut though, you guys. Almost like
It is.
like a Fruit Ninja, just taking it straight through.
Absolutely, and you can see this is where that scar tissue we were talking about is.
Yep.
And you can see it's a little thinner in there where that is. Now what's interesting, Miss Jen, is there's a lot of stuff in this pumpkin.
I feel like that's got a density. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see it feels heavy
Yes.
and there's a lot of stuff in this one.
I mean, tons of it's very fibrous. So
Yes.
This one though, I mean, it is hollow, but yeah, this is very, very thick. A beautiful straight, basically cut though.
Right, who needs a knife when you have 473 rubber bands?
Who does? Who knew?
And it looks like it was a very clean cut. So that's how much force or tension it took to collapse this pumpkin to make it explode.
That's right.
And it looks like we were both a little bit right. There was a little bit of a cave-in and a little bit of an explosion.
Yeah, that thing. I don't know for sure because it startled me, but I feel like it came right up. So.
And I think I said that if it popped on yours, that I owe you some candy.
Ooh.
So I guess Miss Jen is gonna have to pick out her treat.
Ooh, my Halloween treat. All right.
Well, friends, thanks for sticking with us.
Thank you so much, you guys.
I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you didn't let the tension get to you.
And please do, if you do this at home, leave us a comment and let us know how many rubber bands it took.
Yes,
Or send
or-
us a little picture.
Yeah,
of your
send us
rubber
a
band.
picture because we want to see how your pumpkin is.
I think we need to play a little indoor Nerf basketball or something with that rubber band ball now. Miss Niki.
I think, and look at it, it's almost the size of our mummy
We
pumpkin.
birthed a little, oh, it looks like a pumpkin. It's got a stem
It
and a little
does.
bottom. Oh
You're
my gosh.
absolutely right. It kind of does take on the shape of a pumpkin.
We made it. All right.
Interesting.
Thanks so much, you
All
guys.
right, friends, until the next family steam.
Happy Halloween.
Bye-bye.